Welcome back, Embers, or if you're new here, welcome to the Campfire Crew. My name is Stone, my pronouns are they, them, and today we are doing update 1 and 2 because I am still so behind on all my projects for dollar per use Project Pan. Now, I've been told by DW that they were looking on Instagram for me to see if anyone else had done this project, and they found someone who was doing this on Instagram as pound per use Project Pan because obviously they're British, or I don't know where else uses pounds, but I assume more than just Britain itself. So I will go on the DMs and get the link for that. I can't remember their username right now, but it will be down below. Now, I don't know if this is going to be in frame, but I have a giant pillow here. Ignore that. It's been chaotic in my life. The chaos hasn't ended, and thus I am still so behind, but we're gonna, do our best, and we're gonna be doing some first and second updates for a bunch of projects, but I'm really excited to do this one. I am really happy to do this project. When I was talking with y'all in the comments, which you guys seem to love the idea of this project, which thank you so much, despite the fact that I am not the first person to have ever thought of this project. Like I said last time, I haven't seen anyone else do it. I wasn't inspired by anybody. It's just like a project that seems like something a lot of people would do because, getting $1 per use is like a nice quantifiable goal that isn't hitting pan, isn't finishing, but like will get you started on your journey, which is what this is. It's something to get me started. Thank you for all the love and support on this project so far. And also just know that this is not the end of the line for these products. This is the starting goal. Dollar per use is the starting goal for all of these things. And I definitely, the less expensive a product is, the more it is a starting goal for things. Ideally after this, I will be hitting 100 uses on these items or finishing them, whichever comes first. And then from there, we're talking pan, finishing goals, that kind of stuff. Anyway, long introduction aside, also check out my look. She's really cute today. Anyway, long introduction aside, I have gotten some new makeup in my collection, but they were all gifted from the lovely Persephone. I've been saying Persephone this whole time. It's Persephone, but as it was gifted, there's no dollar amount. I could still figure out how much everything cost and add a dollar amount, but I haven't been doing that with any other gifted products or hand-me-downs, so I'm not going to do it with this, just the things I bought myself or I directly asked somebody to buy me. That also counts. But let's get into it because I am hot, and this is knit. I got it today at the thrift store. I think it's so cute. I love a little black and white moment. I love black and white and then color. Anyway, now that we've gotten that long introduction to the side, today we're starting with my cake liners. So I have both of them here. Last time I said I couldn't find this one. This one is red velvet, and I have used it one time for a total of 2 uses. It's red and dark red. It's really pretty. I have used the dark red and I've used the red now, so both of the shades have been used. It's really nice, but close up, you can tell I use too much eyeliner. I'm not very good at using this yet. I'm getting better, but I definitely tend to put too much on while I'm trying to fill in the lines, or I let it get to the consistency get too thick when I put it on, and then it just up close, it looks like a lot. It feels really thick, but that is user error. It's not this product. I just, it's hard to start working with a new medium, especially something like this, and it'll take time, and I'll get used to it and I'll get better at it. Now let's talk about the other cake liner, which as of the intro / January, I hadn't used it all, but this is Carrot Cake. It is orange. I'm wearing it on my eyes today, and I have one use in January. I have one use today, which doesn't count. We'll talk, but like you can tell I'm wearing it today, but I have technically one use. So for red velvet, I need 12 more uses. For this one, I need 13 more uses. spoilers. And then everything is, as usual, going, I match it. Oh my God, cute. Going back in here once I'm done talking about it, if it's small, plus all the things that are just on my bed. Next is, blushes. So I only ended up working on a few blushes, though there's only a few in this project. There's another one in this bin here. Perfect. So the first blush that I used, oh, never mind. I was going to say Eve. Eve I didn't use. Never mind. I didn't think I was going to. Didn't. But I used Dawn. Originally, it had 17 uses on it, and I have used it once in January, once in February. So it has 19 uses. It needs 30, so it has 11 more uses. It's getting into that time of year. It's that time of year where it's still winter. Some days are really spring-like, some days are still quite wintry. But the warmer it gets, the more I'm gonna love pulling this out. I have it on again today, which doesn't count. Again, we're already near the end of March, which is scary, but nonetheless, I have used it once per month. So 11 more uses on this. I think that's absolutely going to get done this year. Love that color. Then we have lipsticks. So for lipsticks, I have two shades that I've used in the last couple of months. The first one on the list that I haven't hit dollar per use on is the shade Dahlia by Milani. It's a $19 product, and as of last month, as of the introduction, I used it 17 times. I used it once in January, and that was it. And so now it's at 18 uses, so it needs one more use to be out of this project. I doubt I'm gonna get that unless I go out at night, which I don't tend to do. But maybe I'll push myself to get it out of this project because I do love rolling things out. So we'll see how that goes. But the next shade has been used a lot more. That's not hard to use it a lot more than once. And it is the shade Change is Good by Maybelline. It's one of their crayon sticks. It was $17. I got it this year. I haven't been telling you guys when I got these. Anyway, I got it last year, near the end of the year. And at the beginning of this project, it had 14 uses. And now it has 17. So this is rolling out of the project. This is what it looks like. It's this really pretty pink color. It's a lot darker than I always think it's gonna be, but it is quite pink, which I really like. So it's very unique to my collection. I feel like I don't have a lot of true pinks. So I used it 3 times. All of those uses were in February because obviously it's a pink. So I used it a lot for February, for the pink month. I love doing a good pink, purple, red kind of Valentine's Day looks, and I did a couple of Valentine's Day looks this year, and I had a lot of fun with it. So it got 3 uses, meaning it is at, oh sorry, it's it's not at 17, it's at 12 uses. So it's not rolling out of the project, but I only need to use it 5 more times for it to roll out of this project. And then the last lip product we're talking about already has reached $1 per use, but my goal this year is to use this lip gloss by Tower 28 because it's a clean brand, $1 per use within the year. So we're not going to talk about how much I used it last year or in years past because I don't need to. That's not what we're doing with this particular product. I'm trying to, in 2026, get 22 uses because it's 22 Canadian dollars. So in January, I used this twice, and in February, I used this once for a total of 3 uses, which means I have 19 more uses left on this, which feels like a lot. However, it's the same as the orange blush. The brighter it gets, the more into summer we get, the more I'm going to be using this. And it's my only lip gloss, so, you know, expect more use as we go. I definitely think this can be done as long as I focus on it, especially in the summer. So that's how we're doing with lip products. The last non-palette related product we have is eyeliner, like not water activated eyeliner like the first two, but pencil eyeliners. I have 3 of them, all of which are in this project. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong number, but I only have 2 of them here. I don't know where my other shade, it's a dark green. It's giving Jade went. Also, I have my blush all over my hand, so don't mind that when I show you the swatches. But it's giving Jade. I did not use so far this year, and it has a total of 8 uses, which means I need 6 more uses. Then we have Cosmic Yellow, which started the year with 10 uses. I've used it once. I really need a pencil sharpener. I need to sharpen this. I tried sharpening it with an actual, pencil sharpener, not a makeup one, and that didn't go very well. This is what it looks like nonetheless. I don't know if you can even see that right here. I can't see it in the camera, but my vision's also very bad, and I am so washed out in this lighting. It's wild. I need to do something with the settings maybe. But I used that once for 11 uses, so I have 3 more uses on that. And then I also had 10 uses on this shade, Electric Slide, for my project. 10 uses. This is from About Face. It's $18. That's what it looks like. Again, don't know if you can see that. Hopefully you can. It's $18, and I used it once in February for, again, 11 uses, but this time I need 7 more uses to finish that off. Then let's go into the big boys, the palettes. So this is the part where most of my stuff isn't super expensive. The blushes are obviously more expensive. We have some blushes I haven't finished yet, like Best Buds, which I haven't used at all in the first 2 months because it is definitely a summer blush, which I'm so excited to use it because I finally like it now. And I still have a lot of uses left on that. However, and I also have my Rare Beauty blush, which is $36. So we have some slightly expensive things, but most of my non-palettes are drugstore, and they are not super expensive, minus a couple of things, and even those aren't super expensive compared to my palettes. So we have much less uses on them. However, once we get to palettes, you'll see that it goes up dramatically. Also, my hand-me-down palettes, like I said, anything that I've gotten that I didn't specifically ask someone to buy me, because a lot of my palettes are birthday gifts. But if I didn't specifically tell someone, please buy this for me for my birthday, if they came to me and said, do you want me to buy you this? Or if it just showed up in my life, I'm not going to count it for this project. So I have 3 palettes that are in this project, and we're going to start oldest to newest. So my oldest palette that is not hit $1 per use is from 2024. It's about the end of 2024 though. I got it for Christmas. I think all of these are like the end of their respective years. So end of 2024, so it's been with me for about all of 2025, so about a year and a bit. So this palette I had used 29 times. As of the intro, I had this is a $98 palette, including shipping, and the blushes, which I'm not sure how much they were, so I just kind of randomly assigned this a price, including tax and shipping. But $98 is what I gave it. This is what it looks like. Love this palette. You don't need to see it that much, but in the month of January I used it once, and in the month of February I used it once. So I have 2 more uses, making for 31 uses in this project, which means 7. So I need 67 more uses this year, or I guess not this year, this is a project I'm going to keep going with, but I need 67 more uses on this palette. So I need to definitely step it up. I would like to get at least 10 uses per palette per year. hopefully more than that, because that would still take me a really long time to get through. I'd still have like 5 years to get through this, just for about 100 uses. And I'd like to get it through it quicker, but like 10 to 20 uses per year, I think would be at least a good starting place. But we'll start with 10 and we'll work our way up. But I definitely am glad that I used it a couple of times. I used it once again in January, which makes sense because there's a lot of blues, and then in February probably the pink and the red, maybe one, maybe the other, maybe both, I don't remember. Oh, I can tell you actually. So I used in January, yeah, I used a lot of the blues. That's a lot of blues in one look. I guess I used this as a standalone palette. I used a lot of the blues, and then in February I used some of the blues, and also in February I still was using blues. So I used this as a blue palette for the first 2 months during winter. So I'm not that surprised that this got a couple of uses. I wish it had gotten some more uses, but winter will come again. It is a very long season, so. And I really like this also for summer with these 3 shades. These 2 also are very summery. Not so much this I can use with these 2 for a watermelon look. Not so much these guys. This one I can work with, you know, one of these or a different blue. So I think in summer we can get some uses, and then when it goes back to winter again, this palette will be good. So we definitely have more opportunities to use this palette, which is good because I need to. Speaking of palettes I like in summer, this is the Ultimate Summer palette, which is my Simply Posh Citrus Punch palette. Now this palette was purchased in 2024, but I did not open it until 2025 in February. So this has been with me for over a year now, a year and a month about at this point. Oh yeah, so I guess I got Indigo Ink and then this palette pretty close together, which makes sense because they actually have very similar usages in total. So this is a very summery palette. This is pretty purely just summer, and I can also use some of these oranges for fall, but it's a very, and then some of these for like this row I feel like I could use for winter, but it's a very spring for this row. Actually, some of these pastels, spring, summer, maybe into fall, but definitely not a winter palette. Again, obviously you can wear whatever whenever, but for me, not a winter palette. I love my seasonal makeup. It's my favorite. So this palette is $92. I believe that includes shipping, but I can't remember. I think when I wanted to figure out how much this was, I went into my app and looked up Simply Posh and just grabbed how much I spent, and this is the only thing I bought from the brand, so I'm pretty sure I spent $92 total on this, including tax and shipping and all of that, and obviously the exchange rate. As of the intro, I used this palette 27 times. Then in January of this year, I used it twice. And then in February, I used it more. I used it 3 times, which isn't that surprising because we've got a lot of these pinks in here, which are very pretty, and some purples. And also a lot of these shades, despite not being like this shade has a pink reflect, this shade has pink reflect, this shade and this shade have pink reflects. This is a pink with a like greeny blue reflect. So a lot of these shades have the shimmers, even the shimmers that aren't pink have a pink reflect, a lot of them. And so this makes sense that I use this for Valentine's Day. Yep, I used a lot of the shimmers. I used a lot of the pinks. I used a lot of the shimmers with pink reflect. Lots of pink themed things were being used in this palette. And then occasionally some of the other stuff. So I have used it since the intro 5 times, taking us up to 31 uses. So so we have 61 uses left in this palette. I'm not as worried about this palette. I think it is very versatile. Like I said, as I was looking at it, I was like, oh, it's a summer palette. And then I looked more and I'm like, oh, but I could get spring and I could do a little fall with the oranges. So it can be used a lot of time out of the year. The winter is the longest season of the year by far. When you combine spring, summer, and fall together, it does outcompete winter. So this is a very versatile palette. It is absolutely, my color story is all the colors I absolutely love. That's why I bought it. I really love this palette, and I use the shimmers a lot even when I'm using different palettes, just because they're so freaking beautiful. And yeah, these are really my tones, so I expect to get a lot of uses out of this year. And I'm happy that I've already gotten 5 uses out of it, especially because I haven't been wearing makeup all that much this year. It's been a rough start to the year, I'll be honest. And then last but not least, for this project, we have the newest palette to my collection, which I got end of 2025. I got this in, I believe, November. The end of November, I believe. And it was an $80 palette. I did not include shipping or tax with this palette. I did buy it online, so I did have to pay for both of those things. However, I bought it from a retailer, I Feel Beautiful Canada, with some other makeup, actually with the water activated liners. So I just didn't feel like mathing the cost of shipping and tax between everything, so I just put it at the Canadian price of how much I paid for this, because obviously it's a Canadian retailer, so it's in Canadian dollars. This is what it looks like. It's very beautiful. I've not used it nearly enough, but she is beautiful. Hasn't even been with me a year yet. It'll be a year in November, so I'm hoping to get a lot of use out of this in my first year having it. And I think I did pretty well. Even when we're just talking about last year, I had used it 9 times, so almost 10 times, which for me, again, pretty decent. Like I said, $80 palette. I did not use this in January, which is kind of a shame because these blues are gorgeous, and these like deep shades here are giving very, like, a lot of these shades, maybe not these, not this quarter, but all the other quads, this quad, this one, and this one, are very cool toned. All the greens are very cool toned. You know, obviously the purples and the blues, cool toned. So this is a beautiful, beautiful winter palette, and I think this quad right here is a very fall color story, but I think some of these shades are very springy. Like these two, this I could use in a blue, like a bright blue look for spring with some of the blues from my Indigo Ink. I think I could get away with this for spring, but definitely these two I could use for spring, this one. But I still think it's a shame I didn't use it in January. However, in February, I did use it 2 times for a total of 11 uses. So I have 79 uses left on this palette. I definitely want to pull it out more. It's so freaking beautiful. I need to definitely pull this out more, use it kind of on its own more. I think it's really, really beautiful. And yeah, definitely needs to get some more use. I think, like I said, I'll maybe start using some of these shades for spring, maybe even this grungy one, see what I can do. But I've definitely done some really beautiful looks with it this year. Yeah, so I've used it 2 times for 11 uses, which means 79 uses. And that is everything. I don't know if you saw, but I had all of my makeup in my colander, which is just kind of, ow. When we had to move everything for the bug spray, we put everything in the colander, or my boyfriend Chris put everything in the colander, and it's actually so useful because it's stored somewhere specific. It's all in one place. So I've actually been keeping all of my makeup like this, just in the colander, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing colander correctly, but anyway, it's actually been very useful, which is very funny to me. Sorry, while I'm doing this, I'm also like, are these, which brushes are clean? Those ones can stay, these ones need to be washed. Okay. Anyway, so that is everything. I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, I think I said this in the intro, but thank you so much for your support on this project. It's been really fun to do. Like I said, I think this is what I was trying to say and I forgot. I got distracted, as I tend to do. This is something I do myself, regardless of whether or not I post about it. Like, I've always tracked this. That's why I have a way to verify both if I've used it $1 per use and also if I've used it twice as much, as like 50 cents per use. If I've used it 3 times $1 per use, 4 times that. So like, I've been tracking this on my own for a while, and when I was thinking of projects this year, I thought it would be really fun to show you guys kind of what I do with my collection, something I already do. And yeah, I'm glad you guys have been enjoying it. I am enjoying it. It's nice to be able to talk about it with you guys. I hope you enjoyed this update, and hopefully, please send me your good thoughts that nothing else dramatic is going to happen in my life and I can just catch up on videos and stay caught up. Thank you so much. I love you guys. Okay, that's a little I do like you guys quite a lot. Thank you everyone for watching. For any comments you leave, they make my absolute life. I live for the comment section, both my comment section, other people's comment section. I just love it. Let me know what you think of the sweater vest. I think it's quite cute. I saw it and I went, that's good. It's very see-through. I guess I'll be cutting myself off here because I always cut myself off before you see my tits. It's very see-through, but it's very cute and I don't care, and I think it's very gay. I always see like really cool queer people wearing sweater vests, and I saw this and I was like, that's the one. I'm gonna be cool now. I'm so excited. So I hope you like it. If you don't tell me. Just tell me you like it anyway. Lie to me, please. Thank you. Okay, bye. Bye, guys. Bye-bye. Oh, yeah. This is my eyeshadow. It's cute. But do you see what I mean? That it's, like, very chunky. Again, not the brand's fault. My fault. But I think my lips were off so bad. I look very cute today. Okay, bye.